It has officially happened, as we all predicted, that Tier Element would become a Tier 0 deck, as it did in the YCS Pasadena right out of the gate. The Shiju Series made 81% of the top spots of that YCS, thus making it the first Tier 0 deck since 2017 Spiral. I have to ask, is anyone really surprised? The deck was already the best deck, if not one of the best decks, before Magnificent Maven, and now with that set out with the Shiju stuff, it was just enough to push it into Tier 0 territory. One of my friends said that the mirror match is one of the skill-intensive mirror matches that we've had in a while. And you could take about 20 turns with just turn 1 with both players doing their thing. While I'll agree to that, it pretty much sucks for everyone else who's not playing that deck. And I do see people trying to make tier stuff try to work in other decks, namely ABCs. Not to discredit the deck, but if I'm gonna go through the effort of putting tiers in ABCs, I think I would rather just go through the effort to just play tiers. There's someone at my locals who says that this deck is powerful enough for there to be an emergency ban list. They did it in Pepe format, though kind of not really, because that emergency ban list made it to where the store owners could kind of decide to use the emergency ban list or not, and tier 2 events or higher would be forced to use that emergency ban list. But the people that really needed the E list the most was the local level. So there really was not much of reason to not use that emergency ban list. Personally, I kind of doubt Konami would put out an emergency ban list for tier elements, purely because of how long it took for the last ban list to hit. And I'm guessing more of a 3 to 5 month range is kind of where Konami's going for ban lists, but I don't think they're going to wait 5 months to ban tier elements. They generally don't like decks that dominate one format to exist for very long. And either way, waiting 5 more months for another ban list is kind of ridiculous. I don't think Konami's PR would survive that. So I'm guessing probably at the end of December is when we'll get a ban list that'll hit a few cards. I see the ban list coming out in about January, beginning January, end of December, and I could see a few things happening. Rhino Heart getting hit to 1 because of this deck, so that you'd have to respect the Rhino Heart a little bit more, because once it's gone, it's gone. And to hit the consistency a little bit more, I can see them hitting Kelbeck and Agito to 1 each, so that you're not milling off the tier card, and then milling off the Shiju card, and then milling off of the tier cards again, back and forth, until you put pretty much half your deck into the graveyard. And then they could possibly also put Midora and Kildo to 1 as well. Just put all the Shiju cards to 1. At least the monster cards to 1. That way, you're less likely to see the interrupt, to put 3 to 5 cards back into the deck. And that's kind of the problem here. Milling a bunch of cards from both your deck and your opponent's deck, and on top of getting your combo, getting an interrupt on either player's turn, very consistently. And unless if you have the DD Crow, or the Ghost Bell, or just playing the mirror match, you're just kind of screwed. Something worth mentioning that I think what Konami was hoping for on the last list was for Mystic Mind to kind of control a tier element just a tiny bit. It was pretty much in every single deck in the last format prior to Pasadena, but it really didn't do much to the deck. Having all copies of Mystic Mind in the graveyard, before your turn starts because of the tier effects, that's not helping to control tier element. And seeing how neither Mystic Mind or Artifact Size was hit on the last ban list, they actually did something about Hulky Firebrax in the last list. Thank God. Thank Satan. Thank something. Thank Baphomet. That they did something to Hulky Firebrax. But anyways, I can see how some people may be dismayed because those particular cards didn't get hit. That's Konami may not do anything about these other cards that are in T0 format, like the Shiju cards and Tier Element. But like I said earlier in this video, Konami typically doesn't like one deck dominating the entire YCS consistently. They're a little more proactive now to prevent decks like that sticking around for very long. Like I remember with Zoo, they hit Red Pure to 2, and then it didn't really do much to the deck. It didn't really do much to the deck until they banned both Dryden and Broad Bowl. That's how you get the deck down, and then they limited Rat Pierre on top of it. And 2 formats later, or maybe it was the very next format. No, it was 2 formats later that we had the Spiral format. And they hit that deck really hard. Probably more because most of the cards were out anyways by that point, but either which way, they didn't let that deck stick around very long. And then when they saw Spirals again, but this time using Magician's Souls to get Master Plan's Graveyard, they killed that really, really quick. And it's been 5 years since our last Tier 0 format. So, who knows? We'll see how this works out with the upcoming ban list in December or January. Hopefully not March, because I don't think Konami's PR would survive that long, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. And that's pretty much why the ban list even exists in the first place. Just a single dominating deck everywhere with no variety. Konami just tends to not like that very much, which is good because it's not a very healthy environment. I don't think, at least. But thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you thought down below, along with any suggestions for future videos. And while you're down there, subscribe to the channel. My name is Vincent, and I am the Wraith Duelist. Goodbye.